Good evening and welcome to the second annual DoGood-er Awards. My name is Caressa Flannery, the founder and coordinator for the event. Tonight we will be celebrating 14 outstanding nominees who have been doing good things in our community and for others. They have been nominated by their peers who have noticed their good deeds. We will honor these individuals in 8 different categories and hear about their inspiring work, generous acts of kindness, and how they are impacting lives and the community with which we live. There might be a little laughter and no doubt a few tears. I'd like to direct your attention to the wristbands that are at the place setting. They indicate a message we'd like you all to take with you beyond tonight's event. By doing good, we do well. It is said, from personal tragedy and life experiences, some of the best things come to life. The inspiration behind the DoGood-er Awards comes from my personal struggle of trying to find answers of how to turn my son's life of addiction around to a more positive, productive, and healthy lifestyle. Through research, it was discovered that doing good and putting the focus on others helps you get through crisis and chaos that sometimes can lead to depression, anxiety, and addiction. So in fact, doing good is actually good for our mental and physical health. Further, praise and recognition also contributes to higher levels of self-esteem, life satisfaction, productivity, and an overall desire to continue doing good. These elements are seen among many of the good people right here in our Frederick community. They educate, beautify, support, and share. Some have been doing good for decades, others are just getting started. We know the name do-gooder isn't exactly proper English, so to all the educators or grammarians in the room, we beg your pardon. Lori Barrick. This event was 2.5 years in the making, but the name was decided upon after my Delta Gamma sorority sister, Amy Savopoulos, was brutally murdered in the DC Mansion murders. Upon learning of her massive philanthropic efforts of working in the trenches with a variety of local charities, I came to realize that she and I had a lot in common since college and truly lived by our sorority motto of do good, and that led to the name for this event, the DoGood-er Awards. We moved the hyphen to provide strong emphasis on the do good part to further frustrate you grammarians. So tonight is all about doing good. After the amazing first year we had for the DoGood-er Awards, when it was time to start planning this year's event, our committee came together to tackle our first objective, selecting a keynote speaker. It was a unanimous decision to have our 2016 Public Service DoGood-er Award recipient, Jason Keckler, in that position. Jason was asked, he accepted, and just as we were ready to start promoting his part in the upcoming event, tragedy struck his family. We paused our promotions, gave him the option to opt out, but he gladly wanted to continue, and we are super excited to hear him speak tonight. Jason Keckler is a retired Frederick Police Department lieutenant. His last assignment was commander of the Criminal Investigation Division. After 22 years of service with the city of Frederick, Jason was able to retire last year in December of 2016. During his police career, Jason was awarded a Bronze Star, Life-Saving Award, 2 unit citations, Police Activities League Officer of the Year Award, Instructor of the Year Award, a Governor's Award for outstanding contributions in the field of victim rights and services, and as mentioned, he was the recipient of the 2016 Frederick County Public Service DoGood-er Award. Jason is actively involved in community initiatives related to mental health, substance abuse, poverty, and homelessness issues. He serves on the board of directors for On Our Own of Frederick County and is a member of On Our Own of Maryland Anti-Stigma Project, where he has presented workshops across the state of Maryland. He is also assisting in the development of an anti-stigma training for law enforcement initiative designed to improve relationships between the police and the behavioral health community. Jason also has volunteered locally with the Student Homelessness Initiative Partnership, also known as SHIP, and other nonprofit organizations working to improve the lives of children and vulnerable adults in our community. What else can we say about this guy? He has a bright smile and a giving heart, and as a native of Frederick County, he loves this community. We are honored to have him as our keynote speaker for the second annual DoGood-er Awards event. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Jason Keckler.
Thank you. It's always nice to get a round of applause before you even say any words at all. So if this ends up not being too good, at least I already got my applause. I appreciate that. First of all, I want to thank Caressa. She's done a great job. She really deserves the big round of applause. She's put this together. Thank you, Caressa. She put this together all by herself. Well, not all by herself, but it was her idea. It came from her idea. And to be able to pull this off last year, anybody who's ever done any type of event planning before, your first year is always the most difficult. If you were here last year, she knocked it out of the park. It was wonderful. And this year, as you can see, we have a really nice crowd here, and she's doing a great job again. And her team of volunteers has just been incredible. So thank you again, Caressa, for doing this. And thank you for asking me to be here. I'm truly humbled. As a nominee last year, like many of the nominees sitting here, it was a great honor to be here and be recognized. When I got up and I was awarded the Public Service Award last year, I said a few words. And one of the things that I said was, as a police officer, you're not always recognized for what you do. We don't do it for the recognition, and I guarantee you if you ask all the nominees here tonight, they didn't do it because they want a pat on the back. They didn't do it because they were expecting to win some type of award because of everything that they do. They do it because they care. They do it because it's the right thing to do good, and that's really what the essence of these awards are about. It's about people in our community doing good. And so, Caressa, again, I just thank you, and for asking me to do the keynote. It's a great honor, and I didn't hesitate to do it because I really do appreciate what you're doing for our community. I also want to thank my parents. My parents are here tonight. We're here talking about doing good. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for my parents who raised me to do the right things, and I didn't always do the right things, so but they were great role models for me. And of course, my wife, Crystal, is here tonight, and Crystal's my biggest supporter and fan. She truly inspires me every day. We were just talking in the car here. We realized that on Sunday, it's 26 years that we've been together on Sunday. So I couldn't do this journey without her. I appreciate it. She inspires me every day to do gooder. Thank you for that. So one of the things I wanted to do first off is congratulate the nominees. They come from a wide variety of backgrounds. You have in your packets here tonight a different story. You're going to hear more detail about these nominees once I'm done talking and you guys can get to the program part of it. But it is really a reflection of the community that we have when you see such diverse nominees and the things that they bring to this community. As Caressa said, I grew up here in Frederick County. I have a passion for this community. Everything that I did in my professional career, and then now that since I've been retired, is really to give back to the community that raised me. When I was growing up here in Frederick, I had some great role models that really helped me to get into the positions that I was able to hold. So for these nominees to be here tonight, everybody that's being recognized, you're truly making a difference in Frederick. That might be to a group, or that might be to one individual or hundreds of individuals, but you're making a difference. So continue doing what you're doing because it's noticed, and it's noticed by this group here tonight, and that's why we're recognizing you. So thank you for that. So I was going through and I was trying to put together some words. Last year, Carlos was here. She had this great, fancy, like 1967 notebook configuration. I don't know what she was doing. She could have used fancy technology and had teleprompters and everything. She had her system down. She did a great job. So I was thinking, well, I'm asked to do this keynote, and how am I going to top what Carlos did last year? And I have a little note card here with a couple notes. I really, Carlos, I can't compete. And since I brought up Carlos, she does so much for our community. She could easily win this award every year, and it wouldn't even be a competition. We just praise her every year for what she does. That's how great she is for our community. So thank you, Carlos, for being so great as our keynote last year. Appreciate that. So when I was going through and I was trying to think of what I'm going to say, what I want to be inspiring to this group, and I want to get this event started off right. And I was trying to think of, what it is about these nominees that makes them do good. Why do they stand out above everybody else? And there's something that my wife and I, since my son Justin was very young, we used to say, sorry, I'm not going to get choked up. We used to say, what separates you from everybody else? Right? So as a parent, I'm raising my child. I want him to stand out. I want him to do good. I want him to do good things. I want to be a good role model to my son. But I also recognize that this is a tough world we live in. There's some great people. Look at all these nominees here. Any one of them could win this award easily. But what is it that separates you from everybody else? So as I was raising my son, no matter what level he was in his schooling, what separates you from everybody else? Okay, that's great. You're going to high school. You can get a 4.0 grade point average, but at the end of the day, when a college looks at you and they want you to come to their school, they're looking for the best of the best. They're not just looking for somebody with a 4.0. Tons of people do that. They're not just looking for somebody who nails their SATs, gets great SAT scores. Tons of people do that. What separates you? What are you doing in your community? Are you volunteering somewhere? Are you giving back? Are you doing something extra above and beyond? And so when I was putting this together, it made me think right away to my son, is what separates you in this audience from everybody else? And I think there's really three things that separate people who are doing good in our community. And I call them the 3 Ps. There's purpose, perseverance, and passion. Purpose, perseverance, and passion. So everybody's got to have a purpose. Your purpose in life, you might not know it. I heard Caressa say it when she was doing the introduction. Some people know right away. We have a youth do-gooder here today that you're going to hear. She's got life figured out at 15. I'm in awe. Some people are a little slower. It might take them a little longer. Some people might not even know yet what their real purpose is. I was fortunate. I worked a career that really served my purpose. I knew from a young age, I was 11th grade in high school, I wanted to be a police officer. And if you ask any police officer, hey, why'd you do the job? And I did. When I was teaching at the academy, I asked every single person that came through our walls, why did you want to be a police officer? It's usually the same type of response. Well, I want to help people, or, I want to make a difference. And it really is hard to put into words, why you do that. But what it comes down to is people. It's people. It's about people. And the people that are doing good in our community, it's because they care about people. They genuinely care about people. And you can tell people that are humble, that genuinely are doing it for the right reasons. Their purpose is true, and their purpose is about people. So you might not know what your purpose is right now. It may not have struck you. Caressa said, I worked 22 years as a police officer. I've been retired since this event last year. I retired a month after this event. I'm happy to say I'm almost a year retired, and I haven't figured out what my retirement purpose is yet. I mean, I'm still going along. I'm still volunteering. I'm still on boards. I'm doing things, but I'm a young man. There's a lot out there for me, and there might be another purpose that I haven't found yet, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep striving, and it's going to hit me, and I'm going to know what that is. And I'm going to jump on it. And I'm going to jump on it with perseverance and passion. So that leads me to number 2, perseverance. A lot of the do-gooders that are here today, they didn't just figure it out right away. And the first time they were successful and they started doing great things. They had to battle. There were walls put in front of them, and they broke through those walls, or they climbed over those walls, and they succeeded. And the reason they did that is because perseverance. It takes a lot for somebody who's faced with struggles, something that really knocks them down in life, to stand back up and keep going. I used to tell people, I'll tell a little story in a little bit, but I'm on a board of directors for it's a mental health and wellness group. It's peer run, people with mental health and substance abuse issues. And I used to go to the center, I'd volunteer. I've taken people to Ocean City for conferences and had long conversations with people who struggled in life. And I used to feel kind of guilty. I was having the conversations with people. I said, I really did have a great life to this point. I told you about my parents. I grew up, I didn't have too many issues. My parents were great. My parents have been together for 50 plus years. I got the job I wanted right out of college. Life was pretty good for me. And I was saying, man, I really haven't had to battle any adversity. And the reason is you don't know when that adversity is going to come. And believe me, I've faced adversity since that day. And it really is a testament to perseverance of how you deal with that when that happens. You're going to hear stories of people that have been at their lowest, that just have been lost in life, maybe consumed in addiction, that feel like they have no way out. And sometimes it just takes one person, one do-gooder, to have a conversation with that person, really sit down and ask them what they need and what they're going through, or to say, hey, I've been there before. Let me help you out. Talk to me. Follow my way. And that can make all the difference in somebody's life. Corey Shore was up here last year getting his award, and I've known Corey for a while, and he's done a lot of work in the police department. I really got to know him through that. And what a great example of a human being that really knows what perseverance is about. He was down and out. He was struggling. Addiction had grabbed him, taken a hold of him, and could have easily just led him to the end. And he battled through all that to where he is now. It's just incredible. He's helping people on a daily basis. He's got an army of people now. And there's people here tonight that probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Corey. What better way to honor somebody like that than somebody who's really giving back and helping somebody else? That's why people want to be do-gooders, because it feels so good inside when you can just reach out and help somebody and make a difference in somebody's life. That's worth anything. And like I said, it can be one person, it can be an organization you help out, or it can be hundreds of people. But what a gratifying feeling. That's why you do it. But it's not easy. It takes perseverance. And then the third thing I wanted to tell you about that separates everybody in this room, the nominees, is passion. I love passion. Full of passion. Because you know what passion is? Passion is conviction. If you're passionate, it's just so energizing. There's nothing that will stop you to do what you want to do. The purpose is the journey that you take. The passion is the flame that lights that path. So I'm going to tell you a little story about passion. My son is a 2016 graduate of the University of Maryland. And my mom and dad, my wife, we were all at my son's graduation, very proud of our son. He actually did it in 4 years, which is what we had demanded of him. Thank you. And that's all we were paying for, frankly, so he had no choice. So we're at his commencement, and Kevin Plank. Anybody know Kevin Plank? He's the CEO of Under Armour. Kevin Plank is also a graduate of the University of Maryland, class of 1996. So it had been 20 years since he graduated. They invited him back. And he was talking at the beginning of his speech, and he said, people do these commencement addresses, people give speeches all the time, and you'll never remember most of them. You might not remember 5 words that they said throughout their whole commencement address. He said, but I'm going to tell you, when I leave here tonight, when you leave here, you're going to remember the speech that I give. And he wasn't doing it to be arrogant. This guy has a multi-billion-dollar company. He could have easily have been like that. He meant it because he focused on one thing, not 3 things like I have tonight. One thing, passion. And he told his story about how he was incoming freshman at the University of Maryland, no scholarship, anything. All he wanted to do was play football. And everything that he did was trying to get on that field. He ended up playing 4 years at Maryland, started in 43 games, and he was on special teams. He said, I wasn't the biggest, the fastest, the strongest. He said, but I had passion. And when you have passion, you find a way to do it. At the end of his sophomore year, he was offered that scholarship to the University of Maryland. He played on scholarship the last 2. And he told the story about how he worked 27 different jobs in college to find a way. He had that entrepreneurial spirit that guided him. But what it was his passion. He was not going to fail because nothing was going to get in his way. And that really inspired me, because my son was full of passion. I like to think I'm full of passion. That's how you get things done. That's how you get energized. So, remember, if nothing else, if you have passion for whatever it is you're doing, you've already won, because there's no wall that's going to get in your way that you're not going to kick down or climb over. You're going to make it happen. You're going to find your way. And so that leads me to the last thing I wanted to talk about tonight. It's a call to action. So we're here, and this isn't about everybody in this room. It's about a core group of nominees, but this is a call to action. This is the DoGood-er Awards, okay? And do is a verb. It's not the Think Gooders Award and have all these great ideas. I was preparing for this speech for so long, so much so I didn't even write one, but I was preparing for this speech for a long time. I truly was. And I did a lot of thinking. About it. And through all my thoughts, I probably could have got up here and talked to you for about 3 hours, but Caressa would have killed me. But one thing I want to say was, man, what a word, do good. What does it mean to do good? Well, first of all, just break it down. Just do. You have to do first. And I know so many people that have great ideas and they never put it into action. Well, I'm imploring you to put your good deeds into action. There's so many people here that have so many skills that you might not even realize. When you figure it out, if you can get the combination of your skill set into someone or some group that needs those skills, you can do anything. And this community needs you. So I truly implore you to do good things with the skills that you have. And like I said about purpose, you might not know what it is yet. Somebody might reach out to you out of the blue and say, hey, have you ever thought about doing this? And no, I never really thought about it. Or there might be some things that throughout your life, I always wanted to do this and I wish I would have done it, but I never did it. I was always going to do that. And my wife will tell you, she's probably calling BS right now because I'm the biggest procrastinator in the world. That's no joke. I'm really bad. I always say I'm going to do stuff around the house. I've been retired 11 months and stuff doesn't get done, folks. I'm just being honest. But when it comes to doing good, you don't have a choice. If somebody is in need and they come to you and they ask you, are you going to sit there and think about it or are you going to do it? Some people sit on the sidelines. Some people take the field. I'm asking you to take the field and do it. Because time's not guaranteed. We know that more than anybody. And, when people are in their last minutes, their last hours of life, and they're sitting there and they're looking back on their life, people don't sit there and regret some of the things that they did. Oh, man, I wish I wouldn't have done this, or I wish I wouldn't have done that, or I was kind of embarrassed about that. You know what they regret? They regret what they didn't do. Think about that. They regret what they didn't do. You don't want to be the type of person that has so much to give, so much to offer, and then never do it, and then regret that someday, man, I could have done that, or I could have made a difference. Because we are in the midst of the worst opioid crisis ever. It's awful. And there's people out there that are struggling, and every day those numbers increase more and more. My last year in the police department in 2016, our overdoses just in the city of Frederick tripled from the year before. Not a 10-year period. In 1 year, they tripled. We're battling. And that's just here in Frederick. I mean, that's all over this country. But yet, I sit on a board of directors, and I deal weekly with people that are going through these issues and these struggles, and they're doing well. And you know why they're doing well? Because they have somebody there pulling them up, talking to them, saying that I've been there. Our biggest successes in this community come from relationships. That's what I love about Frederick. We're growing. We're huge. When I started in the police department, we had maybe 40,000 people. In the city of Frederick, there's over 70,000 people now. But we're still small enough to where people know one another. And more than anything, they care. They want things to continue to be good. So if they're going to continue to be good, it's going to take everybody in this room, everybody in this community and beyond. And I think we can do it. We just have to have a purpose, perseverance, and passion. Thank you for your time. I appreciate the honor. Caressa, really enjoyed being able to do this. And I hope if you take anything out of this, it's a call to action that hopefully I've inspired you a little bit to find that purpose and put it into passion. Thank you. everybody has one of those programs that they put together. Very nice programs. I don't know who did those for you. They did a great job. Everybody's got a card in there. So when I was sitting there and this wasn't designed, we shuffled seats around and everything, and I opened mine up, and the very first card that I pulled out was my message. And what it is, it's a message for you, so inspire you to do good things. And it has a task for you, and I hope you take it serious. Mine last year, I still remember mine last year. It was help somebody with their groceries, and like just random stranger go up and help them with their groceries. And I thought that was kind of funny. I used to work at Safeway as a bag boy, and I used to help people with groceries. I said, I got this one. I can do it. But my card tonight says, and I thought this was very appropriate because they're here to support me tonight. It says, tell your family you love them. So, Mom and Dad, Crystal, I love you guys. I love you, Justin.
What motivates me to do good in the community is I always feel that there's more that we can do. You can always strive to be better.
Honestly, I think it's just what my mom and dad taught me when I was a kid, which is to whom much is given, much is expected. And while I wouldn't consider myself, rich in a lot of ways, I certainly am rich with good family, good friends, and a great community. So I guess I'm just following their lead and giving back any way that I can.
I'm trying to give back for all the wrong that I've done in the past.
I'm motivated to do good in our community because we have such a thriving community that's given me so much.
Just it feels right. It feels good. My nomination was for working with children, and that's something I've done for my whole career, and it does just make me happy, and I love seeing them light up and just helping out neighbors and my community. Just feels right.
One of the things that motivates us to do good in the community is that we've been fortunate to have a successful business in the community. I think we have had the opportunity to be able to provide our opportunities to our future professionals that helps them take that with them when they leave our doors.
I'm not a religious person, but I do believe that how you help others and what you do for others is what makes you a good person.
My mother always taught that you have to give back no matter what, no matter if it's caroling at a nursing home or feeding the homeless on Thanksgiving. Always to put God first and to always give back, no matter how successful you are or what you do in your life. A simple act of kindness can go a long way.
Those values were instilled in me young, and now I have the opportunity to give back, and it's what I want to spend my life doing.
Doing good has changed me in just the perspective that I see life. I'm very young, I'm 14 years old, so I've done good, but I haven't achieved everything that I'd like to. And I just think that it just makes me feel better, but it also opens a whole lot more of opportunities that I can help others, and it also helps me too by helping me pursue what I want to do.
It has totally changed my life. 20-some years of doing this, and I guess the journey has been unbelievable. The things I've been able to see, the things that the Lord has called me to. Now, I let people know I ain't a preacher, but I'm a satisfied customer, and it is totally 100% Him that opens these doors.
Personally, I think it's been kind of, it makes me a lot less cynical and gives me more hope, I guess, that we can, that we have more in common than we have differences.
Doing good has changed me by so much. Me being incarcerated and then coming back from being in jail. I actually just got done speaking at an event, Hope for Change Festival, just trying to spread my story.
I don't know if doing good has changed me, but it's really affirmed me and what I believe in, and confirmed that my passion is literacy, and I feel like it can transform lives.
I feel good when we do good. And it's not just me. I'm very proud of all of the people that I'm associated with in the bank, and even their families, as they reach out into the community and they themselves play a role in making the community better. And I love to see how proud they are of being part of this team and seeing the difference that can be made when we work as a larger group together.
Doing good in my life has changed me greatly. I've met so many people along the way, watched people go in different phases of their lives, from down to nothing to being something. And that means a lot, knowing that I touched someone in that way.
The more you give to others, the better you feel about yourself. And all the things you hear about is, it takes a village. If everyone went out there and did a little bit of something for somebody, not only would you feel better about yourself, but every little bit helps. You can do something small or something big, and it can change someone's life.
Whatever your passion is, go and do something for that passion, and you'll feel so good about yourself.
You can't do good just sitting at your desk or just sitting in your house. You have to get out and engage with folks, and the more you engage and the more things you do, the easier it becomes, the more fun it is, and then one open door just leads to 3 other open doors, and pretty soon you're just engaged all over the place.
Doing good, there is a fiscal reward to there. Putting other people first and having a servant's heart, it can drive fiscal success. But just as importantly, it helps here. It helps you be a better person. And these are not difficult things. We learned them all when we were in kindergarten. To be nice to others and treat others well, and all those things are really simple lessons. We've all known them. There is an adult on the planet that thinks that being mean to somebody is the right way to do it. But I would encourage people to just, as Sharon said a few minutes ago, do the right thing even when it isn't working, because in the end, you'll feel good about yourself, and ultimately, everything comes back around again, and you'll be able to know that you walked the right path.
All right, what a fine group of nominees, right? And amazing words of wisdom and inspiring stories from all of them. We are truly lucky to have so many wonderful people making a difference. Just to let you know, tonight isn't necessarily about the awards. It's more about a disease, the disease of doing good. And it's contagious. I hope you all catch it and you spread it around like crazy. Tonight is more about giving all of us the ability to walk out of here tonight feeling inspired, inspired to do better, inspired to do good. And this world needs more of that, wouldn't you agree? Before we get started with the awards, I have a few things to take care of. First, wasn't Jason terrific? Jason, you truly are inspiring, and we are grateful to have you in our community, and I have no doubt that your do-gooderness is just scratching the surface. So thank you so much for your service to this community and for being a gracious friend. And as a token of appreciation, we'd like to give you a little gift, so please come back up on stage. Actually, 2 little gifts. There you go. Thank you. Thanks so much. Tonight's event could not be possible without the many corporate sponsors who have supported us. We'd like to give a huge thank you and round of applause to all of them. I'd also like to thank the many committee members who contributed ideas, inspiration, time, and labor to put this event together, and I'd like them all to come forward and grab a bag. Blue or pink? We believe in color equality here, so it doesn't matter which one you take. Come on up. Tawanda Bailey, Cheryl Haynes, Donna Johnson, Michelle Rankin, Kim Starks, and Kim Trishman. All grab a bag. Gina Carbaugh is missing as she had her own event, so she couldn't be here tonight. And Conrad Weaver of Conjo Studios couldn't be with us either. He took his son to film school, and Conrad did all the production of the interviews, the great video you just saw earlier, and the presentation you see above. In his absence, we have Wiser Productions crew here to help us. They're over there. Yay. Woo! I also would like to thank Phil Bowers from Fountain Rock Management. He provided a gift card for all the nominees this evening. A $25 gift card will be in your bags, and it can be used at any of their restaurants, Aisha, Pastaro's, Isabella's, Brewer's Alley, or Reina. And additionally, yes. Additionally, our photographer this evening is Ms. Angela Torchia with Big Beautiful World Photography. And she is providing a wonderful gift to all of the nominees, and the details on that are in your bags that you will receive as well. Glade Link Farms provided our beautiful centerpieces tonight that you see on the tables. And TM Designs, Valley Graphics, and Imagination Center provide our graphic design and printed pieces. So we want to give a round of applause to them too. We'd also like to thank our wonderful judges, Nikki Bamonte, Tony Chiquilla, Russ Hodge, and Leanne DeLauder. You nominees didn't make their jobs very easy. And lastly, we are thrilled to have so many people with us here tonight. Even though we moved it to a Friday, oh well, what a fabulous turnout we've had this evening. We are so grateful that you all are here, and so are our beneficiaries. Proceeds for the event are going to the Up and Out Foundation and Blessings in a Backpack. The mission of the Up and Out Foundation is to help provide assistance to those struggling with drug addiction and alcoholism. The hope is to have this lead to an awakening within the individual to make changes which are necessary for long-term recovery. Up and Out is a nonprofit foundation that relies on the donations from the giving souls in the community who wish to make a difference. 100% of the proceeds from their events and donations go directly to support the cause and help to continue to spread the message of hope. Some of the ways they accomplish this is by providing gifts and incentives to graduates of the Frederick County Drug Court Program, providing scholarships to individuals in recovery and transitioning from rehab to a recovery house, providing meals for the homeless when necessary, and also through their annual Running for Recovery 5K race and the creation of documentaries for educational purposes. Representative Corey Shorb and others are here from Up and Out. I think they're still here, right? Hi! Blessings in a Backpack is a national 501c3 organization that, through an all-volunteer network, mobilizes communities, individuals, and resources to provide food on the weekends for school children across the United States who might otherwise go hungry. In Frederick County, more than 11,000 children, that's 27% of all students, are fed by the free and reduced-priced meal program every week. But what do they do on the weekends? So lunch in school on Friday is often the last full meal many of these children have before returning to school on Monday morning. The food provided by Blessings in a Backpack offers a greater opportunity for these children to return to school on Monday, better prepared to participate and learn. Blessings in a Backpack Frederick currently serves over 2,000 children in 15 local schools. It costs only $100 to feed a single child each weekend for an entire school year, and 100% of the money raised is used to feed local Frederick children. The more money they raise, the more children they can feed. Representative Hermine Bernstein is with us tonight. And if anyone here tonight would like to extend a donation to help support these organizations, please feel free to get it to me at the completion of tonight's event. A round of applause for both of these fine organizations. We also would like to give a round of applause to our hosts, the ARC of Frederick County. They serve developmentally disabled adults, and your meal was prepared and served by them this evening. Wasn't it delicious? Jason stole the thunder a little bit on this next part, but if you open your programs, obviously you guys have already opened them up and you've seen the index cards with an act of kindness or a way of doing good. In carrying out our theme, it is our hope that you will take this card home and complete this act of do-gooderness between now and the end of the year. And when you do, if you can remember, please post on our Facebook page, DoGood-er Awards, your results, a picture, or whatever you like to represent its completion. We hope to carry the message of doing good way beyond this evening's event. Tonight's winners will receive one of our beautiful awards and the book, Do Good Well. It is an enormous guide to leadership, action, and social intervention, and every nonprofit should have a copy of it. It is referenced on page 6 of your program for how you can obtain a copy in case anyone in the room would like to have one. If the winners do not wish to keep their copy, please pass it on to a charity of your choosing. And don't forget, directly following the awards presentation, Fuzzy Match will be playing at our celebration after party. They are actually playing until 10:30 tonight. I know I know. I know that we published it as 10 o'clock, but we got the opportunity to have them for an additional half an hour. However, the bar will close at 10 o'clock, okay? Oh my goodness! Now, on to the awards. Joe Donegan. We have 8 categories of awards tonight. We have 4 categories that are uncontested, and for categories where we have more than one nominee, I will share info about each individual, and then we'll call you all up on stage to present the award that was chosen by our judges. The winners in each category will have a chance to say a few words to the audience, and all of our nominees are phenomenal, so each of them will be going home with something tonight, either an award or a certificate that can be displayed proudly. At the end of the presentation this evening, we ask that all of our nominees, all of you, and award recipients stick around for photographs with your awards, okay? So our first category for award tonight is our Youth Do-Gooder. This individual is the younger hero under 18 who has provided countless volunteer hours for numerous causes and groups within our community, or through innovation and invention has served the people in the community. Their tireless efforts help these causes provide for others. They give back to their local community without compensation and help to improve lives. Nominee Darian Dorsey is 15 years old and attends Frederick High School. She is a huge advocate, ambassador, and educator in fire prevention. And it turns out this week is National Fire Prevention Week. All right. She is a junior volunteer member of the United Steam Fire Engine Company No. 3 in Frederick and has been instrumental in developing the Junior Swamper program for the organization. Through this endeavor, she has organized fundraisers to support the mission, the support service delivery for the United Fire Company, and their community outreach programs. Darian is also the current Frederick County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association's Fire Prevention Queen and has volunteered at the Frederick County Animal Shelter. One of her nominators, Eric Jacobs, states, Darian has logged over 150 hours of volunteering as Miss Fire Prevention Queen. Her commitment is one to be proud of, considering the demands of school, sports, and volunteer activity. She has ambitions of becoming a neonatal nurse, and although requirements are demanding, her tireless efforts of her current commitments are preparing her for greatness. Darian is the only nominee in our Youth Do-Gooder category, but without a doubt very worthy of this honor. Our 2017 Youth Do-Gooder Award recipient is Ms. Darian Dorsey. Look how pretty! Oh, she looks so beautiful. You look beautiful. I'll give you a hug and then you get to say something. I can hold yourself. You get to say something. Yes, you get to speak. Is that in your way? Oh, you know what? Actually, thank you. We forgot. Okay. Is it on? Testing. Is it on?
No. Oh, there we go. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out and supporting this good cause. I would like to thank you, Eric, for nominating me. This is amazing. And I would like to thank everyone that supported me throughout these past few years as I've been being a do-gooder. My parents, and especially everyone this past year as me being the Fire Prevention Queen in the Frederick County Association and the Fire Prevention Committee that have really helped me do a lot of good things this past year. So thank you, everyone.
There you go. Congratulations. Yes, get that one. And she looks so pretty. Did you see her dress? Oh, beautiful. All right. I love it when Joe Donegan's in the room. Our next award is our Education Do-Gooder. This is an individual who works as an administrator, teacher, public or private, coach, secretary, school bus driver, school board, or speaker in the Frederick community who has impacted students or classrooms to improve education in our community. These are individuals who have gone above and beyond to move people forward in their lives by providing necessary skills and concepts to achieve greatness. Nominee Lori Barrick is a literary specialist at Ballinger Creek Elementary School. She also is the co-president, volunteer, and leader with Frederick County Reading Council. Every one of her nominators talks about her passion to inspire literacy in children. Lori plans, organizes, and recruits volunteers to expand literacy with programs and events like Reading in the Mall, Laundromat Literacy, and Feed Your Brain. Through a partnership with the Frederick Rescue Mission, she leads the charge to get over 2,000 books during the summer into the hands of needy families. She also gets them into laundromats, beauty shops, and barber shops, and has even provided them over the holidays to expand childhood literacy. Whatever it takes, right? Not only is she helping the children, but she also hosts professional development for teachers and sponsors a contest for young authors. One of her nominators and co-workers, Sally Marin, states, her love for literacy, children, and her community shine through in everything she does. She is a tireless advocate and supporter of the best literacy practices for teachers and children at our school and in our community. Lori Barrick is our sole nominee in the education category, and we are extremely happy to see her receive this award. Please welcome to the stage our 2017 Education Do-Gooder Award recipient, Ms. Lori Barrick.
Well, thank you so much. So much about a person begins at home, and I feel so lucky that my first teachers, my parents, are here tonight, and all of my older siblings are here, and even my siblings-in-law. So thank you so much. Yeah, and so doing good begins at home. So thanks so much. And then also doing good begins with, I think, being passionate, like our keynote said, and surrounding yourself with people with a similar vision. So it's really inspiring to be in a room full of so many do-gooders. And I love literacy, and so when you find something that you really believe in and makes you happy, go out and do it and spread it around. Thank you so much.
All right. Next up is our Military Do-Gooder category. This award is for an individual serving or who has served in a branch of military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Reserves, who has gone above and beyond the call of duty to impact the lives of others within the community. These individuals can be active military or retired. Nominee Jeremy Schultes is an attorney with Miles in Stockbridge, and he serves as a U.S. Army Reserve Judge Advocate General. His firsthand experience as a combat veteran led to his involvement with Platoon 22, a traveling memorial that increases awareness of veteran suicides. The organization raises funds to support underfunded call centers to ensure that post-traumatic help is available to veterans whenever needed. Jeremy provides general legal support and established an advisory group that assists with liability concerns, amending bylaws, and opening chapters in other areas. Through his pro bono work with Platoon 22, his employer, Miles in Stockbridge, recognized him with a Pro Bono Advocate Award in 2016. This award exemplifies the firm's strong tradition of public service and giving back. In Jeremy's own words, upon receiving this award, he shares his feelings that no soldier should be left behind, and this includes them getting support as they transition back into life at home. He cares about being a part of helping service members who struggle with PTSD so they can find a way to overcome and get back to a healthy life. In addition, he brings awareness to the sacrifice of the American military through his involvement with Wear Blue, Run to Remember, a national nonprofit that encourages people to train and participate in endurance events in honor of fallen soldiers. One of Jeremy's nominators, Danny Farrar, founder of Platoon 22, says, "Jeremy has helped us navigate the waters of board personnel issues and crisis management, effectively removing emotion from the table and instead focusing on outcomes. He helps us pursue our passion with purpose and direction as opposed to simply doing what makes us feel good. There is zero doubt he is an indispensable part of our team." Jeremy Schultes is our only nominee for the Military Do-Gooder category, and we are honored to have him receive this award. Our 2017 Military Do-Gooder Award recipient is Mr. Jeremy Schultes.
Well, I didn't know I was going to have to say anything until I saw the first person get up and say something. First of all, thank you. Thanks for putting on a great program, and thanks to the folks who nominated all of us here this evening. It takes a team. There isn't anything that Carissa just talked about that I did on my own. Every single thing I think that every one of us in here has participated in has been part of really good, strong, healthy team. People who just wanted to do good, right? It's really simple as that. So not a single one of us did anything here on our own and are holding this award as an individual. So on behalf of Miles at Stockbridge, that lets me do a really good thing. My wife, who is always holding the bag, you know, when I'm out doing something, and Platoon 22 and all the others, many thanks to them for being part of it.
Our next award tonight is the Public Service Do-Gooder. These are individuals serving our community in a public service position who go above and beyond through service, invention, or innovation and impact the lives of others through other work. Public service jobs include elected officials, law enforcement, social services, fire and rescue, public transportation, postal service, or environmental work. Nominee Peter Kramers doesn't hold a traditional public service position, but he has done an enormous public service for the people in this community. He almost single-handedly beautified our downtown Frederick area with his creation of Color on the Creek. Pete, like many residents, were frustrated by the algae-infested Carroll Creek Linear Park. He had the idea that placing plants in the creek to mitigate the algae while at the same time presenting a beautiful distraction might be the answer to an otherwise perplexing problem. Dr. Kramers presented this idea to the Parks and Rec Department, the mayor's office, and other local businesses and agencies. He started with a test garden with positive results, then it moved to a bigger scale, and the nonprofit Color on the Creek was formulated. He handled the layout of the garden, getting the plant materials, marketing, setting up a website, fundraising, lining up volunteers, and applying for grants. He even designed the plant stands and got them fabricated. He literally talked to anyone and everyone that would listen to get this project accomplished and gave countless hours of manual labor, planning, designing, and creativity. And wow, look at it now. One of his nominators, Mr. John McCain, GM of the Wine Kitchen, states, "People come from all over now to see the beautiful summer water garden that has come to life and revitalized Carroll Creek. Downtown merchants have seen an increase in traffic and revenue. Groups of loiterers, homeless, or drug users have declined dramatically. Not only is the creek a safe and beautiful recreation area, the water garden has injected downtown Frederick with an influx of vibrancy, visitors, and tourists, and it's provided an increased sense of community among the people who live and work here." Pete is the only nominee in the Public Service Do-Gooder category tonight, and without a doubt, deserving of this honor. Please welcome our 2017 Public Service Do-Gooder Award recipient, Dr. Peter Kramers.
I too was not expecting to say something tonight. So the only thing I would actually like to say about this journey that I've been on for this one about 5 years, this project, is that I went into it and it was just a project. It was a solution to a problem that I thought might work. I stole basically ideas from the Egyptians 5,000 years ago to apply to the creek. But what I really got out of it was how great this town. We're all very blessed to be part of a community that gives. If I asked 100 people, 98 people said yes. It was as simple as that. It was just to ask. And it's a really cool place to live. It's very eclectic. It's a very warm community. We're in the sweet spot. We're not too big that no one really cares, and we're not too small that there isn't enough energy. We are really blessed to be in the sweet spot. And I thank you all for what you've done. I know a lot of you have been in the water and on land. I know a lot of you have your own projects. And I'm sure the people here feel the same thing. We're lucky to live in Frederick, and it's great to be part of it. Thank you.
Our next award is a brand new one this year. The Unsung Hero Do-Gooder is an individual who works behind the scenes, mostly out of the limelight, for a nonprofit organization providing tremendous support or provides an impact to individuals in the community. Sometimes put in roles as treasurer, secretary, or the like, they keep things rolling despite deadlines, setbacks, and unforeseen circumstances. Also, these individuals can be seen as good Samaritans, lending a helping hand when needed. Nominee Laurie Beiser-Wolf volunteers wherever her heart takes her and wherever she feels she is needed. Some of the organizations she has worked with are the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, AMVETS Post 2, the Frederick County Animal Shelter, the Rescue Mission, and for FMH Cancer Research. Laurie has never met a stranger because she is someone with a giving heart that coordinates fundraisers, consoles those in need, and does amazing and random acts of kindness with perfect strangers. In fact, 30 plus years ago, outside a nightclub, she had come to the rescue of a man who was in a fight, who lay bleeding out in the snow. No one would help him, so Laurie stepped in. It was discovered sometime later that she had contracted the hepatitis C virus, and it was traced back to that incident. It was then that Laurie made it her crusade to educate people, even some doctors and healthcare providers, about the dangers of hepatitis C. In 2004, she founded the Hope for Hepatitis C Foundation, a nonprofit that does just that, through educational forums, events that raise awareness, and fundraisers that go toward research, all the while dealing with her own fight and personal crisis. More recently, Laurie had taken on another endeavor. A friend of hers had a fire in her home where they lost everything. They had no insurance, and the friend's daughter was just about to have a baby. Laurie organized fundraisers and donations to get them back on their feet. She then established Angels Among Us to help provide shelter, clothing, and items for those affected with devastating circumstances. One of her nominators writes, "If she had not helped us, our family would not have clothing, necessities, or even hope. She is an angel who has done countless acts of kindness for many individuals and this community." Her husband, Rich, states that she is a beacon of light where most see no hope in sight. That's Laurie Beiser-Wolf. Nominee Ronnie Osterman is a devoted volunteer with decades of service to many organizations in the Frederick community. She has spent 24 years helping with the Walk to End Alzheimer's and most recently assisted with a country western shindig. She's been on the Festival of the Arts Committee for 14 years and runs the Festival Shop. She has worked as a volunteer with the Maryland Ensemble Theater for 14 years also, running concessions, ushering, or working the annual Retro Prom. And for the third year in a row, Ronnie has helped with setup and refreshments for participants and volunteers for the Women's Distance Run Walk for the Giving Circle. She was on the board of directors for Families Plus, and she served as president of the Frederick Sister Cities Association. She has been a chair and sat on committees for both the Chocolate Gala and Frederick's 4th of July. Ronnie steps up to the plate to fill in wherever she is needed with any organization she's affiliated with, which usually means doing things that others don't want to do, like working in food tents, asking for donations, or securing sponsorships. In 2011, Ronnie, who normally doesn't take on the limelight much, was recognized through the Community Foundation as a Wertheimer Fellow for Excellence in Volunteerism. One of her nominators, Talmadge Payton, writes, "Ronnie is an invaluable asset to the community. Her energy, time, and lifelong dedication to serving others is immeasurable." Ronnie Osterman. Laurie and Ronnie, please join us on stage and take a seat on the stools over there on the right, if you would. All of these contested categories were very difficult decisions for our judges, but in this case, they felt the unsung hero really means choosing the nominee who has yet to be recognized for her gallant efforts toward people in need. Our 2017 and first ever Unsung Hero Award goes to Laurie Beiser-Wolf.
Cressa knows me very well. I'm a very emotional person, and I believe that's why I do what I do today. Because I reach down into people's souls that's hurting. I've been through so many things in my life, but I never thought that that one day would change my life the way it did. But last year, I did take the Harvoni, so I am cured of the hepatitis C. Tonight I have with me the daughter who was pregnant at the time during the fires, Jency. Jency had a beautiful baby girl, Brooke, who is now my goddaughter. So August the 12th changed my life as well. I didn't expect to speak, and I apologize. I never expected this. I just do good because that's my heart. And if one person has never done the smallest thing good for someone, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can do, believe me, it'll make you feel good inside. It truly does. But I never expected this because I'm in such a great group of nominees. But I can't keep going on because I'll just keep getting emotional. But thank you all so much.
Laurie and I went to high school together, so I've known her quite a long time, so that choked me up a little bit. Whew. Okay, but well-deserved, Laurie, well-deserved. Up next is the category of Second Chance Do-Gooder. This was a category that in the beginning we added last to the awards to recognize those who are taking their second chances seriously by doing good. The Second Chance Do-Gooder is an individual who has been given a second chance for a better life from arrest, incarceration, illness, accident, and through recovery has truly given back to their community through exhibited behavior, good deeds, creating a cause, or volunteer efforts. Nominee Dylan Flannery is a supervisor, trainer, and manager for A Touch of Class Auto Detailing. But just a few short years ago, things were much different. Dylan has battled the disease of addiction for the past 9 years. He was incarcerated in February 2015 and served for 17 months. In February of 2018, Dylan will celebrate 3 years in recovery. And for those of you who don't know, he's my son, because I'm a sap. During incarceration, Dylan volunteered while on kitchen duty to prepare the meals for the Meals on Wheels program, which serves the elderly and the incapacitated in our community. He also was asked to speak to the youthful offenders who visited the jail, and it was in those meetings that he began to share his personal story. He became so great at relating to the juveniles that Mike Folio, who heads up the program, asked him to continue it on the outside. While serving probation and going through outpatient treatment, Dylan made it a mission to fight this epidemic and share his story to help prevent the stigma of drug addiction. He was asked to participate in a documentary called The Face of Recovery, sharing what recovery means to him, giving hope to the viewers. And shortly after that, he was asked to share his personal story of struggles, triumph, and sobriety for the forthcoming Heroin's Grip documentary, due to be released in early 2018. He mentors and shares at Serenity Treatment Center and through the Youthful Offenders Program with other young adults who are struggling with addiction with tact, patience, and a positive attitude. In addition, he has been speaking at Rotary and other community meetings, treatment facilities, and special events in the Frederick area, including being a featured speaker at the Hope for Change Fest held in Baker Park this past August. He was also invited to participate in the Thurmont Parade, handing out information to the community on addiction and mental health resources. During the summer, Dylan and his girlfriend Becca, also in recovery, were approved to head up a brand new NA meeting in Emmitsburg to provide a resource to those suffering in that community. And just last year, he was seen helping in the community at Alive at 5 and for the 2016 DoGood-er Awards. One of Dylan's many admirers is respected attorney Richard Bricken, who has stated that Dylan is a rock star in his office because of the many folks they have defended. He is the only one who has kept with their sobriety and made it to the other side. And his nominator, Becca Austin, writes, Dylan deserves so much more than an award. Making it through a heroin addiction and not being one of those fatal statistics is one thing, but to take your struggles and be able to share it with not just others struggling, but the public as well, without fear of judgment, that takes tremendous strength. Dylan Flannery. Nominee Jacoby Powell can't be with us this evening. He currently works as a contractor and is rumored to be helping with hurricane relief in the Houston area. However, this month, he is celebrating 2 years in recovery from drug addiction. He volunteers for the Richard Carball's Hope Foundation and continues to speak, mentor, and provide support to those in recovery through the methadone program that supported him. He volunteers his recovery story to those who are struggling with addiction no matter where he goes. He lives his life every day with sobriety, providing education and awareness, and to families needing support with heroin and opiate addiction. He speaks about mental health playing a part in addiction as well to lift stigmatism. One of his nominators, Tiffany Gentry, stated, Jacoby has had a rough road and has worked through those rough times. He has faced his demons head on and continues to work through his recovery every day by giving back to those in need. Jacoby Powell. And Dylan, I won't make you come up and sit on a stool, okay? The judges felt that both young men were making great strides in their recovery and should be commended. However, one nomination stood out due to the depth of the work and the number of letters of recommendation. I believe there were 7. It gives me great pride to announce our 2017 Second Chance DoGood-er Award goes to my son, Dylan Flannery.
Thanks, everybody. I didn't think I was going to be speaking, but, you know, I don't know. I've been through a lot. Been in and out of jail ever since, like, second day I turned 18. Through addiction. I don't know. is crazy. But I want to thank everybody that nominated me, and I don't know, just anybody struggling in addiction, just take it one day at a time. That's all I can tell you. Thanks.
Whew, that's why I have tissues up here. Okay, our next award is the Business Do-Gooder Award. This individual is one who has made an impact on the success of a Frederick business or used his or her business for good in the community through service, invention, or innovation. These people go above and beyond their given job descriptions to impact the lives of others and the sustainability of business and service in the Frederick community. We have 3 nominees in this category. Nominee Marty LaPera, who is the president and CEO of Frederick County Bank, could not be with us tonight. Sadly, his father passed away earlier this week, and the funeral was today. So please keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers, if you would. Marty is one of the great connectors we have in the Frederick community. He, alongside the bank, are advocates for downtown Frederick, community organizations, and small businesses in our region. He has made Frederick County Bank an integrated, trusted partner in every sense of the word. Marty and the bank have provided financial support and sponsorship for countless organizations and events in Frederick County. Frederick County Bank is seen everywhere, and Marty himself personally volunteers for community events and encourages his staff to participate in the community as well. His support of downtown Frederick can be seen through his support for Downtown Frederick Partnership through activities like Alive at 5, movie nights, First Saturdays, and serving on the board of directors. He is currently sitting on a committee to help in revitalizing and refreshing the square corner in our vibrant downtown area as well. His support stretches beyond the downtown area too, with the Rotary Club of Carroll Creek, Frederick Memorial Hospital's Good Samaritan, and support of the Weinberg Center for the Arts and the Mental Health Association. One of his nominators tells us, Marty has a genuine passion to provide for those in our community, and his willingness to step up and support local organizations and events is a core part of who he is as a business leader and person. Marty LaPera. Nominee John Perrin, also... You obviously like pizza. Nominee John Perrin, also known as JP to those that know him personally, is the owner of popular favorite and Frederick Magazine top voted pizza restaurant, Il Forno Pizzeria. Yeah, woo! That's right. That is some good pizza. When organizers of events are thinking pizza, they turn to JP and Il Forno Pizzeria to help the cause. JP has donated hundreds and hundreds of pizzas over the years for a variety of fundraisers and special events, including the Stomp Out Heroin 5K, Evening on the Riviera, SHIP, and even the Do-Gooder Awards. John has sponsored numerous sports teams and organizations over the years to help raise money and awareness for their activities and various charitable causes. He has hosted at Il Forno fundraisers, meetings, networking events, and even donated food for them without even being asked. He has supported 4-H programs, 4-H therapeutic riding programs, and organizations like Wounded Warriors and Operation Second Chance. Additionally, he volunteers his time and speaks at the Hospitality, Culinary, and Tourism Institute classes at Frederick Community College. He provides an ongoing 20% discount to uniformed service professionals and donates more than 65 hot meals around the holidays, no questions asked, to the less fortunate. One of his nominators, Steve Yates, states, JP is a mainstay in our Frederick community. He is a guy who has a big heart to match his big personality. JP is the kind of guy that people can call in a pinch and he will get it done. John Perrin. Nominees Sharon and Charles Reiser are the owners of The Temple, a Paul Mitchell cosmetology school. They have financially supported over 60 charitable organizations in the Frederick region, and they have helped to raise more than $250,000 for local, and national charities. A small sampling of organizations are the Hartley House, SHIP, Habitat for Humanity, the Arc of Frederick County, Interfaith Housing Alliance, FMH Good Samaritan, and the Mental Health Association, but there are so many more. They encourage their employees to give back to causes too, including 5K races, Oktoberfest, and sitting in leadership roles on a variety of committees. Through the temple, they also provide free services and products for back to school, the homeless, and to service professionals. Plus, they've incorporated fundraisers to raise money for designated charities. Individually, Sharon serves as the president of the Women's Giving Circle of Frederick, on the grants committee for the Rotary Club of Carroll Creek, and was awarded a Paul Harris Community Award for giving back. In 2016, she was also recognized as a leading woman in Maryland by the Daily Record. That's big stuff. Charles volunteers within the industry as well as in the community. He serves on boards, foundations, and committees, and was recently awarded the Paul Mitchell School's Compassionate Service Award as a result of his efforts. One of their nominators states, "Doing good is a mindset and a core belief that shines through every facet of someone's life, whether at work or at home, in our community or away. Do-gooders look for opportunities to have a meaningful impact. Sharon and Charles not only look for opportunities, they create them. For this and a great many other reasons, we believe the Risers exemplify what it means to be do-gooders." Sharon and Charles Riser. JP, Charles and Sharon, would you mind coming up and adorning our lovely stools? Yes. That's okay. While our judges feel all of these individuals have used their businesses immensely to help and serve others in our community, they looked at the breadth of their service and dollars they have raised for charities as the deciding factor. Sorry about that. I know, we forgot to move the backdrop over. Sorry about that. Okay. Our 2017 Business Do-Gooder Award goes to Sharon and Charles Riser.
Well, first of all, thank you. I thought it was kind of ironic for the fact that we were in the same category with Marty and Frederick County Bank. And we had actually just last month catered our business lunch from Il Forno. So I always talk about this. That's the thing I love about this community is everybody knows everyone. But I thought it was kind of ironic in the fact that Marty's not here this evening. But we share the story. We celebrated 12 years of business. And Frederick County Bank, we were turned down 3 times before we wanted to bring our vision to this community of not just opening up a school, but having an army of students that could go and give back and make a difference in the community and share our passion with the rest of the community. And Frederick County Bank believed in us, and they were the one that took the risk on us, and that's why we're here. So thank you. I also just want to thank you for recognizing both of us. A lot of times I think in a relationship, you know, Charles and I will celebrate, well, we did celebrate 20 years of marriage this summer. And to have the ability for us to work and to give back, we love what it is that we do, and to watch our students be able to go out and get involved in the community. And many of you have had the opportunity through whether it's Oktoberfest or Rotary, to be able to work with some of our students. You play such an amazing role of a mentor, and watching them go out and watching them do good and give back, and they take that into their careers. That's what we wanted to do. We have an amazing team, and some of our team is here tonight. I want to thank them, because when Charles and I walk in the door and say, we're going to raise funds for this, or we're going to do this, or we're going to give that, they're on board, and they're always behind it 100%. And we're very, very fortunate, and we are very grateful for that. So thank you, Charles.
Normally, I don't really say much of anything, because in this community, I'm Mr. Sharon Reiser sometimes, but and that's okay. I don't mind that. First of all, just two things. We're part of the professional beauty industry, and one of the real joys of our industry is that we get to look inside people and see the beauty that's inside every individual and bring it out. Most of you probably went to your hairdresser or your barber tonight before you came here because it was important to you, so you wanted to be your very best. And so you went to someone in my industry and you did that. My mom's here tonight, and she's been a hairdresser all of her life, and she's the one that brought us into this industry. And, I tell our future professionals, you're part of an industry that, unlike anything else in the world, we get to reach out, bring the beauty out of people, and show them what they really are and who they really can be. So part of what we do is doing good every single day. And as I said in that video clip that you saw, I'll leave this with you guys. Always, always do the right thing, even when the right thing isn't working. Because as long as you're doing that, you will move forward. And it's hard. We are inundated every day with a message that to not do the right thing, to take the easy path, and to stand behind our keyboards and be mean to others. And I implore you, stop. Do the right thing. Be the good that you know that's inside of you, and show the world that we're much better than what they think. Thank you for this. Thank you for the recognition.
Our final category of the night is the All-Star Do-Gooder. Also, this category has 3 nominees within it. The All-Star Do-Gooder is an individual who has provided countless volunteer hours for any number of causes and groups within our community, and whose tireless efforts help these organizations provide for others. They give back to their local community without compensation and help to improve lives. Nominee Jessica Kent is the president and executive director of the Birthing Circle, and she is a certified holistic doula. I hope I said that right. Right? Okay, good. Jessica works tirelessly to create a better future for women from all walks of life. Her compassion and dedication to women's health make her a leader and a role model in everything she does. Under Jessica's leadership, the Birthing Circle hosted a successful birth and babies fair with vendors covering every aspect of women's health. She and the Birthing Circle provide much needed services with compassion to marginalized communities, local refugee families, women of color, and domestic violence and trauma survivors. As a certified holistic doula, Jessica is experienced in childbirth and provides comforting advice, information, emotional support, and physical comfort to a mother in all stages of childbirth and beyond. Additionally, she volunteers with the Frederick County Commission for Women and the La Leche League and embodies the spirit of love, support, kindness, and community. One of her nominators, James Minks, writes, "Strength and courage come naturally to Jessica. A constant advocate for all women in our community, she dedicates every ounce of her being to the valuable work she does for women every day. Her positive impact on women's health is already immeasurable, and she's only just begun." Jessica Kent. Nominee Courtney Stauffer is the owner of Stauffer Funeral Homes alongside her husband, George. And Courtney's not with us tonight, right? Okay. All right. Well, we wanted to say a big congratulations to the both of them on the birth of their wonderful little girl. So exciting. Courtney is what many of us would describe as an all-around go-getter. She not only gives monetarily, but she sits on boards for nonprofits and volunteers for many causes, including SOAR, SHIP, and Habitat for Humanity. She also, for the past several years, has been the co-chair of the Mental Health Association's biggest fundraiser, the Catoctin Affair, overseeing the organizing committee, engagement, development, and fundraising. She's been an integral part of many initiatives for MHA, many that have raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for the organization and mental health services. In addition, Courtney is the leader of Cocktails for a Cause, FMH Good Samaritans. She sits on Generation Connect's steering committee and helps with development for hospice of Frederick County. Let's not understate the enormous compassion she projects to families over and beyond the norm when they are grieving through tragic losses. She has a caring heart that serves her well in her work, but also in her volunteer capacities. One of her nominators, Megan DeLauder, writes, "Courtney should not receive this award because of the treasure she gives to our community organizations, rather because of her character, grace, and passion. She does not serve our community because she is compelled to do so. She does it because she truly wants to give back." Courtney Stauffer. Nominee Debbie Williams, who was also unable to be here this evening, is the founder and visionary for the Patty Pilatos Fund. This nonprofit organization was begun when her best friend was diagnosed with cancer and given a short time to live. With bills mounting and foreclosure in the midst, Debbie organized a fundraiser to take the financial burden from her friend. That first fundraiser raised $25,000, and it's been climbing ever since. 100% of proceeds go to the causes and charities they promote and support. Even the credit card fees for those that donate that way are taken care of by a local business. Since its inception, the Patty Pilatos Fund has raised over $10 million. $10 million to help those dealing with catastrophic circumstances, and she has a massive army of volunteers to support those endeavors. Debbie created and coordinates the Family Fundraiser Phenomenon, which has been happening for 12 years now and highlights the most notable Nashville acts, plus it salutes our military and so much more. In addition to her monumental efforts with the Patty Pilatos Fund, she exercises her singing talents for St. Jude's Research and Shriners Hospitals, serving a little entertainment for those in need. She's been involved in massive fundraisers, golf tournaments, the house that Love built that gave away a house to a lucky ticket holder and raised mega money for hospice. And she was instrumental in helping to build the Klein Hospice House. Debbie doesn't stop there. Every Christmas, she hosts an annual party for about 250 special needs children. They each get a gift bag and a ticket to the upcoming phenomenon, but seeing their faces light up is what Christmas is all about for Debbie. Her contacts stretch far and wide, and she can literally move mountains, or perhaps RVs. Years ago, y'all get that in a minute. Years ago, when Hurricane Katrina hit, the good Lord called her to action. She coordinated donations of second homes, RVs, and motorhomes to help provide temporary housing for those who lost their only homes. Debbie set up a staging area at the Frederick Fairgrounds, and 50 motorhomes, RVs, pop-up trailers, and conversion vans were dropped off with their titles. Then a convoy followed to head to Texas. Whew. This operation turned out to be a 2-year expanded relief effort, but oh my goodness, wow, incredible. One of her nominators, her daughter, Regina Williams, shares she has a rare gift of amazing strength and compassion and uses it tirelessly. I truly believe Frederick County is a better place because my mom answered her calling 25 years ago. Her favorite saying that became the motto for the Patty Pilatos Fund, one person can make a difference, together we can change the world. Debbie Williams. Okay, so Jessica, since you're the only one here, I won't make you come up here on the stage just yet. The judges found this category to be the absolute most difficult because all the nominees were winners in their eyes. The caliber of service they have provided was above and beyond, but for them, the deciding factor was insurmountable efforts by one nominee and the incredible amount of money that has been raised. Our 2017 All-Star DoGood-er Award recipient is Debbie Williams. On behalf of Debbie, we'd like to ask her daughter, Regina, to come up and accept the award. Regina, come on up. Oh, she's right here. Oh. And Jessica, please come forward. We have your certificate as well. Sorry. Here, I'll hold it. I'll hold it for you. Okay.
I'm sorry that my mom isn't here to accept this award. She is out of town, and if anyone has been in her presence, she lights up a room. And I feel quite inadequate to stand here and represent her. But I'd like to say a few things. I believe that our lives, they're woven by the choices that we make as individuals. The freedom to choose, I believe, is man's greatest blessing and can be his greatest curse. One of my favorite things, Pastor Rick Warren compares life to a game of poker. And while you can't control the hand that you're dealt, you always have a wild card, and that is the choices that you make. Mom took the struggles and difficulties of her life and her humble upbringing and chose to uplift others. I couldn't walk a mile in my mom's shoes, and most of us in this room never had to cut out cardboard to cover the holes in the soles of our shoes like my mom did as a young girl. But it's okay. You should see her shoe closet now. Mom, I believe that it was her diagnosis with a rare blood disease for which there is no cure that equipped her with the true empathy to understand what her recipients go through and how to better help them. She has miraculously been in remission for almost 20 years. Because God wasn't done with her efforts here on earth, and she has been an obedient servant and a true disciple of her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I do believe that there are angels among us that show us how to live and teach us how to give, and that is a country song. And I know firsthand that Debbie Williams is one of them. Through all the heartbreaking struggles she deals with on a daily basis, a child with brain cancer, a mother with breast cancer, a father with spinal injuries. Her faith in God never wavers. She has an amazing gift of empathy, compassion, strength, and grace that uplifts people in the darkest hours. I thank God that my mom answered her calling 25 years ago and chose to make a difference. As women, and these other nominees here, I think would agree, Jessica and Courtney, that being a mom is the greatest blessing. And my daughter is my motivation in life. My mom is my inspiration. And one of the greatest things I think that makes the greatest impact on our lives is our parents. and we don't get to choose them. And for that, I thank God every day for blessing me with 2 extraordinary parents. I am so proud to be Debbie Williams' daughter, and I humbly accept this award on her behalf. Thank you.
Jessica, sweetie, come up here. We have your certificate for you. Yay, you look beautiful. All right, so that concludes our awards for this evening. Oh, and perfect timing, yay. Each of the nominees we shared with you tonight, all are winners in the Frederick community. And going forward, we will be contacting each award winner to supply us with their charity of choice, and our committee will then decide upon the 2 beneficiaries that we will have for next year's event. We would like for all of you to think about those individuals around you serving others, doing good, and making a difference, and who deserve recognition for next year. We'd like to remind our nominees and winners to stick around for photographs right after this, and we would like to thank all of you for attending the 2nd Annual DoGood-er Awards, and join us now for the celebration after party with a Fuzzy Match. All right, that's it.